Welcome everyone, my name's Dom, and today we're going to continue to talk about sound, specifically Dolby Atmos and how it works. This video is a continuation of my video on Apple Music and lossless audio. If you haven't seen that one yet, definitely consider giving it a look. Let's go ahead and get into it, but to do that we need to head over to my living room and get comfortable on my couch. Okay. Who's behind the mouse? Certainly most of you have heard of surround sound before, be it Dolby Digital Surround or DTS Digital Surround. These surround sound technologies are track-based, which is when a movie or game or television show would map one of its audio tracks to one of the speakers you would have around your living room. A track is nothing more than a stream of audio that is sent to a speaker, and if you have headphones on or are listening on something with good left and right speaker or channel separation, you should be able to hear my voice going from left to right, or left to right, or right to left. Now, as I said before, each speaker is considered a channel, and typically you will find the standard left and right channel on most things like your TV or laptop. This is commonly known as stereo, and when you have only one channel or only one audio track that is being played, this is called mono. When you add more channels, you can have more tracks playing at the same time, like a center channel, a rear left channel, a rear right channel, a side channel, and so on. Most commonly, you might see a subwoofer added to a two-channel setup, which would make it 3 channels. But in this case, the subwoofer is only playing part of the audio for bass or lower end frequencies, and we call this a 2.1 configuration. And so we call it 2.1, but it is effectively 2 regular channels and 1 sub channel. When we add more speakers, we increase the number of channels. So numbers like 5.1 and 7.1 in relation to audio means 5 speakers and 7 speakers respectively with a subwoofer. So now that we have all these channels, our movie or game can send specific audio tracks for playback to that correlated speaker where the things we need to hear should sound like they're coming from in relation to where we're sitting and viewing our TV. But having multiple physical speakers isn't the only way to experience surround sound. We can also do a trick where our speakers or headphones can have something called virtual speakers, or speakers that exist only within the reality of the audio hardware itself. You see, human ears are able to tell where a sound is coming from based on the time difference between when our right and left ears hear something. For things like height and front and rear positions, however, the shape of your ears and all the little waves and stuff inside modulate the sounds coming from those different angles, and they bounce around inside your ear and changes the sound, and that is what your brain uses. Those changes themselves is what your brain uses to determine the positional data of where the sound is coming from. Virtual surround attempts to mimic these changes to the audio tracks that are supposed to be coming from a direction for a speaker that is not physically available to it to make it sound like it's coming from up or behind or down or wherever the hell. This doesn't work all that well though, because everyone's ears are different, and so the effect a lot of the time can be more or less hit or miss. Regardless of how it works though, these surround sound technologies are still limited to which channels are available and where they are supposed to be located. And this is where Dolby Atmos comes in. Okay, sorry guys, I have no idea why we went to the living room for that. That just felt like something cool and different. But anyway, getting back into Atmos. Atmos is also a surround sound technology. However, it adds a few tricks to the whole thing that makes it different from 5.1 and 7.1 in traditional surround sounds. For one thing, Atmos has something which allows actual objects to have positional data in 3D space. A lot of the Atmos ready, sound bars and sound systems ready for your living room that you can get out of the box come with upward firing speakers, and this adds to the whole object thing for Atmos, because with them, along with any of the other speakers available to Atmos, it will attempt to use the available channels and the available speakers and their positions along with the location data of specific objects during a movie or game, and attempt to put that sound where it's supposed to be in your listening space in relation to where you are. To summarize, it basically means that if a missile is coming at you from 45 degrees, to your left and 45 degrees behind you and up, Atmos will do its best to take the speakers that it has available to it and make it sound like that thing is coming from the direction where it's coming from. This is why you'll commonly see upward firing speakers on a lot of the pre-made Atmos systems that you buy for your living room. It allows it to use the upward firing speakers to effectively send sound to hit your ceiling back down towards you to give it that upness. This doesn't mean Atmos is only available if you have a lot of speakers or upward firing speakers. Atmos is just a technology that will take speakers that it has to do its best to make sounds sound like where they're supposed to be coming from. This doesn't mean that you can't get Atmos or Atmos isn't available if you only have a lot of speakers or if you have upward firing speakers. If you don't have any of those, it really doesn't matter because Atmos is just a surround sound technology that will take the speakers that you give it and it will do its best to basically make the sound like where they're coming from. So for things like headphones, the same thing can be done, but with virtual speakers, and the virtual speakers can have a much greater effect because Atmos is free to place those virtual speakers and sounds wherever it needs to create the positional audio effect that Atmos provides. Now, in conjunction with my lossless Apple Music video that I did, Apple has also added spatial audio and Atmos to Apple Music, which pretty much does the same thing as it does for movies, but with songs that support it. For Apple, who put accelerometers in their AirPods, AirPods Max, AirPods Pro, this gives them the ability to add Atmos via spatial audio, which more or less allows the headphones to send head position data back to your iPhone, your iPad, Apple TV, or what have you, and then they can change the way things sound to make the audio appear as though it has stationary position relative to your head. So if your phone is here and then you turn your head this way, it's going to sound like it's coming this way, like it's coming from your phone. So all of the positions stay accurate. Now, if you've never tried spatial audio and you have a friend with AirPods Pros or AirPods Max, I definitely recommend you try it because it's really, really freaking cool. It's not like the killer app or anything for Apple, but regardless, it's cool technology. And I can't say it's necessarily gimmicky per se. It's one of those things that when you experience it, you experience it. You're not going to proactively go looking for it. And once you kind of get used to it, it's there. But all things considered, it is a really cool, like, technical feat that they accomplished. And so for music, what this all means is effectively that there can be now positional audio based on however the song was created in order to take advantage of that Atmos effect. All in all, Dolby Atmos is really just an audio feature that does fancy sound stuff that lets you experience movies and games as if you're actually there by using the different channels and tracks and speakers to replicate the sounds in relation to where you're sitting. If you're interested in Atmos extends more to just Apple Music, but you actually want to be able to experience it like in your living room and what have you, there are a few things that you're going to need to consider. Mostly is your receiver or whatever audio playback device, not necessarily the speakers themselves, that you pick. Atmos is just the surround sound technology and the speakers just do the playback. So as long as the receiver sends the particular sound to the speaker will play it. What matters is the audio hardware that is doing the encoding and the decoding and sending what sounds to what speakers. In addition, your playback device needs to support Atmos as well. This includes things like the Apple TV, 4th gen and up, I believe, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and many more. Once you have an Atmos capable playback device, you will need to consider a couple of things depending on how you want to have things set up. So if you're interested in a tutorial or a video like that where I kind of walk through some of the additional steps and some of the additional things that you need to consider for setting up this kind of system or any other home entertainment system, let me know down below, be it Atmos or HDR, any of that crap. Let me know down below, and if there are enough of you interested, I will be more than happy to continue to make videos like this, especially on home entertainment and things you can do and things to look out for. So definitely guys, let me know. I'll be more than happy to make those kind of videos for you. And that about wraps things up, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this far into the video. If you liked it, please throw a like on it. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. Please consider subscribing. If you're new here, definitely check out some of my other videos. I do the thing all the time. Please consider sharing the video out. It helps the channel out a lot. I said out weird, bad outro. Anyway, guys, talk to you soon. Should sound like they're coming from in relation to you email. 3, 2, 1. Wait a minute. Systems that are like ready for your living room, they can So all in all, Dolby Atmos is really just an audio feature. It's just a surround